are praying because it's angry. Light head on the wall. I do gentle. You're not, that's not so like child of God. You're a peaceful child. You're not in south. You're not shaking it. And they try that. They know the do that. You do that. So this day was with me, and he was still with me the whole day in my room. I said, let me go and shower. And I don't even read the room because they don't destroy things if I step out to get out. So I took him out to the living room upstairs, which is his own play area also. And I went to back. So I was at my bath. I wasn't even hearing crying. By the time they are done with water, in and out the shower, I was not hearing in my head. Maybe they're making something somewhere. What are they making? By the time I stepped out of the bathroom to the room, go. But by this time I'm closer to the sound. I'm not hearing anything that say, "What's stop that? I'm going to come on for you. I'll come on me. Will you stop that?" He said, stop that. I said, Naka. See? Was moving his head. My sister. In fact, he left the wall, but it's on the floor. It's on the floor. So like angry.
Because he left him to shower.
Crying. And I felt like a bad mother. So I went inside him and cried. But one thing that I did, which I always do, even when I'm scolding him, when I don't spank him or what, after that, I will speak to him and say, I love you, that's why I'm doing this. I want you to turn out well. Listen to me. Your life is for the glory of God. You won't bring shame to this family. You won't bring shame to the body of Christ. You are a peaceful child. You are this. I'll say all those things. Say. After I don't know that. This one I would say, there's a will. Because I'm like, don't I think I'm hard like that? But no, he doesn't do that anymore.
So that was the last time he did it.
So I mean, after that, he did it like, but not acknowledge. Yes, he did like every time before. I could buy like people stuff like this.
Well, the Bible was right about praying the word.
Yes, it's very important. See, my mother did spare on over at home. Deliverance from me like that.
Oh my God, I
so
read
there's you can pray for the child,
yeah, that's
speak to the child, because you can very important.
Yeah.
It's sense.
They
That
link
word.
that, yeah.
Let's do my own word. Now it's my faith. Well, when I teach her, yeah, somebody do past 5 years. Teaching. That day, she warned me. I'm going that she was going to a Taylor's place in Ojodu. There was this thing that's agitating me before we moved to Abulega. She warned me, said, I'm going out. Don't come out. Go away, stay in place I face you. That's like some of us told my room and parlor. So she tell me, no, don't open the nets for anybody. But anybody that come to them from the nets. I say, okay. She go.
Open the door.
But there's one girl I never child. That girl don't care for mind. So we are going to the toilet battery used to be at the end of the compound. Now inside now this girl open the one side to 2 rooms. Little shares, 1 toilet, 2 rooms. So every time that girl she go bedroom, in the kitchen, kitchen. So I see this opportunity. So I didn't really plan to. I just let me go to the kitchen. As I was in the kitchen, she was now, no statement, because they don't used to abuse direct. It's song. Yes, ma'am. It's song now.
What song did she sing?
You can start with, I don't know what's the song, but then, man, let's go down. Let's say, this guy, fine, this guy, stove, fine. I guess that person stove. The person will not sing from the song. almost like being teenager.
Teenage, yes. I would say you have to be a teenager.
No, not be teenager. Fair. My grace that girl survive.
Nonsense and bastard.
Uno yacht. Oh God. Uno bully. Uno stupid.
I'm not supporting violence.
I'm not that person anymore.
Oh my
I
God.
don't fight again. Lost. But it was so bad. I can't even fight. See, after that, my mom did. I fought after friendship, but not in that year. Later.
You went outside.
But see what I did to my dad. Why did he beat my piece again? So apparently, as my mommy was going, I think the day Donald told her that she's not around. They said my mom was at the bus stop. Because from our house to the bus stop is far. Because that street, I built a show my job in Agilebe. My mom had walked to the bus stop. So by the time Taylor says she did not bother entering bus to Jude again. She told her. So I maybe she will ask.
Old Spice Cashmere and Vanilla Deodorant. 24/7 cologne quality scent.
They say, Miss. So my mom was a teacher at Agilebe Primary School at the time. She said, Miss, quit don't kill the Lenzo. Quit don't kill. She's not coming up. And the mother was like, she said, Mama, she's like, come there, child. She showed me that child. She don't come out. Then when you come. And she did that kitchen. She didn't even say, stop. Why did? Just carry me from neck up. Raise me straight to our room. Even at my entry, yeah, I knew that it's over.
Yeah.
So we enter, she knocked the door, locked the windows. I know,
When parents don't wait,
no, you know it's over.
it's as if
Just, you know what they say?
no one come and beg. No
So
opportunity.
come back. Then come back. I know Tisha, public school, and the girls came for us. This will be came for them. It's normal bundle. So that bundle of cane, the normal cane, that bundle
Pancake.
on top of
Is
our.
that what they call pancake?
Yes, on top of, hanger now, that would be hang of clothing with the hair on top of it. That's a bundle of cane. So when it's not how to bring the cane, you go and bring the cane. You go and bring your cane. So she now told Adrian, go and bring your cane. That's okay. Better than what. That she didn't use one. It was double. Then the massacre. And then, Mommy, I will die. My sister. And I really fainted. And I don't know how.
You wait for
No, I really don't, because I don't know how. But I just know that I woke up and my leg was on my mommy's lap. She was praying for me. They didn't mention they didn't speak. My mommy they cried, they prayed.
Are you serious?
I see fat around there, I see things. As soon as I came, I said, thank you, Jesus. So God prayed, God blessing me, blessing me, blessing me. I said, Mommy, I'm sorry. So I just know that so there are lots of things like growing up that I know that Ibrahim is not doesn't align with my own destiny.
Must collect.
Yeah.
How much do you miss your mom?
Oh my God, so much. So much. Life will never be the same.
Yeah.
Yes.
How did you know? You know what food you said?
Yes. How did I do? You know, to be truthful, sometimes I feel like I'm not good. I think so.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not good, because I have honest conversations with myself. And because, and why I think so is that sometimes when I want to remember a memory of my mom, I run information quickly. So I'm like, those
Yeah, they avoid that stage.
Yes. I feel like those things so much that, sometimes I want to, maybe like, I want to feel, or just maybe just feel those things when I run info. So I feel like, that's, and this is me being genuine with myself. I don't know exactly what it is. Maybe because I had to be strong. Just I'm an only child, right? And it's just me and my mom already. Just me and my mom. So when it happened, it was a vision. Quickly. There's no, you can't leave yourself for anybody. Quickly. So I didn't have time to process anything per se. And then afterwards, it feels like life is moving. Really. Oh, am I supposed to now sit down? also say that I don't know if I've truly prayed. Because sometimes I feel a sentiment, just confess the word, they say, I'm enough, God has taken care of me, God has made plan, God has plans for me. But there's all of that, but I don't know that I've truly, I don't know that I've someone's grieving is. Yes. So that's a journey that I even want to genuinely about because I've had to do it myself, and I really think that because I'm always running away from dwelling in. I feel like if I was there, I should be able to sit and really dwell, maybe in memories or something. Maybe not really dwell, but be able to think about. Sometimes I don't want to watch maybe I want to quickly, go past it. I'll tell myself, don't start crying. I don't want to tell me sorry. Yeah. It's just a lot. And sometimes I still feel like I'm probably it. Yes. And sometimes I'm angry when I see, I'm not as a devil, when I see the evidence as everything guilty, like, but why? She saved your life.
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
Why?
That's always
Like, this one suffered all her life.
And
You
you
went out and you enjoyed well.
make her enjoy.
Yes. And like, yes, I did what I could. I genuinely that one. Oh yes. But I feel like
Do more.
there's more.
Yes.
Because this one gave her everyone did not rely from me. She gave everything. So I feel like he didn't allow her spend time with her grandchild. So there's that sometimes. But I try to say, can I judge you faithful? Still. But I just also feel like I feel like you cheated. There's always that, and that's me being truthful.
Yes.
I feel like, just to see nothing, just like that. I bet it was today, then the next morning. So, but she opened the door for me. I came back from center past 2 a.m. She wasn't opening the door for me because I was filming overnight, and then I came in when she was just seeing me. All my friends had called her, my birthday, my best friend spent
Live
with
stream.
her, for her. Told me I sent her money, my friends, oh my, she said, they don't just so around for
I didn't get my consent though.
Sorry, because I was not putting on your face. I was just focusing on the back of the head. Sorry.
Just like, so it's a lot of that. So I don't know that I'm truly, but
Recording
I
just
never really trust in God because I can't do it on my own.
process.
I'm trusting God too because I believe and I know
Sorry.
that God kept me and even helped me through the early stage to even be able to plan her funeral. I give her a befitting, funeral because I didn't even cry as such. They said, of course, we are just very like,
How many people are
at
following?
first, got there, they didn't take care
No,
of
right
it,
now,
so
not like
I
two or three people. Now it's
my
not too
friend
high.
was like, oh, was saying how much
It's
you
not
want,
like always busy. Most of the time I do it just for like the process itself because it's YouTube, so it just stays there. I can actually leave it on private if I don't want to post it. And just for me to have like the process
It's one of the consultants gives my children,
records.
I'm sorry, Kiniko. So the reality just hits me like, as like this. So that's been that. I said, you have left me, just like that. And
If
right after
you
that,
just do a standard recording, then it doesn't have to be YouTube.
I don't know why. I don't know
No,
how.
it's for like the hours. It's because YouTube also like pay attention like to the hours that your channel is watched or active on live.
So I guess that's how they start promoting people whose channels get heavy
Yeah,
activity.
it's mostly like from the hours and the
Yes.
views.
And I don't think
Yeah, check the hours.
it's not like I'm now be doing
It also shows your channel activity. Because most of the time, even if you post it, very few people are going to like sit there for 1-2 hours watching like the process, because it's not like the camera is too into it, like the details and all. So they may not actually see everything you're doing. But at least when you're recording, at least it appears on the board like you're active for 2 hours. So at least that's one thing that goes on your record, even if people don't watch it after all those 3 hours or whatever. It just keeps that record.
You have to live your life as though it's only you and God. As though God is your plan A to Z. So because if I'm not here tomorrow, it's only God. So, and I think, no, you guys have to go back like, yes, stop. It's stop. And that's why, that's why that
From which
they're giving out their candle. Because I think what most people say, if they're catch up with us.
because I wanted to put this here and then the rest we can put
My
it.
mom, our devotion,
So you want us to take from this?
it's like,
Here's one.
so
So all of that can go the other way.
is your handmaid. She's for you. If she ever dabbles
It's
into
not going
anything,
now this one is close to the center already.
that's scandal. So I
So you like the center here.
child.
So if you put this, it's going to come this way and so from here
The parent was good too. So it's not like yes. So there was all of that. I'm going like God. Everything. So I think that's also why I said because that experience take me from God completely.
When you went to
Yes. So it's I'm not decided I will worship you. Even though you're taking the most important person to me, but I still choose to worship.
I think you in time. I think that will come. The wound is something that just don't try and let anybody tell you, oh, it will heal. Never. Like for the rest of your life, it's a wound that is just open and that we forget that it's there at some point. But sometimes something will touch
You
you
touch it and you always remember.
and you always remember. So I'm sorry that she's gone, but I know for a fact the time to cry your eyes out, the time to watch those videos and just allow it. Because the memory is so important for you to have. But if you continue to push them back, I always say now I remember my mom fun.
Yes.
So I just remember the things that she does. I laugh, my cousin, my family friends, my sisters. We just talk about her now.
Yes.
In a fun way. Yes. But it wasn't the same thing at the beginning. So I think it will happen. And that's okay. As whatever process I just feel it doesn't happen in public. You know how your husband
But
comes
I had
somewhere.
one in Biafra. That was that Christmas time.
Yeah.
It was on the phone. It was on 2 weeks. My sister had recovered. We were talking about something different entirely. I don't even know where. I just said, I understand. If I cry,
You just start crying.
that day, you know that thing that they say, look at your chest also. I've never experienced that in my life. I thought when I could not breathe. Like, they had to open with their employee breathe.
Yeah.
I was scared. I'm sure he didn't know what to do. But one day at a time.
One day at a time.
One day at a
One
time.
day at a
I
time.
think I'm just one of the things that I panic about is having a baby. Because she was very present when I had my son. So you say, how am I going to navigate this?
Yeah.
It will never be like
But what did your mom say?
what
What did your mom say?
she said.
What did she say? She said, act like it's just you and
Oh,
God.
wow. Yes.
Maybe.
Yes. Yes, I do.
But when you know the husband, the children,
Yes.
family, when you back to UK, how do you see that?
I think very fickle, and I'm just always, I'm just bothered. I ask myself, what do you remember for? If you live now, what are you even living for? Those are the things that I happens to be a lot. Actually, like you said, I usually the battery.
Yeah. That happens, but they don't know it's
Yes,
just you.
noise. And I don't think I'm not ashamed.
Yes.
It's you. So I just feel like, am I doing enough? Am I impacting people? I get people that will say, oh, my life was transformed
Because of you.
because I encountered her,
Yeah.
or because of this. But exactly, what am I say, oh shit, am I even that example to my child? Oh, even this marriage that I'm in, am I a blessing to this marriage? Is he happy? Is he enjoying? Is he enjoying?
Yes.
Those are the
about
things. I'm very bothered about purpose, and I genuinely want to die empty. I want to give all that God has put inside of me, and I don't want to get there because if you see what that's very important to me, I really, really must make heaven. I must make heaven. If I don't go to, I cannot do. So I'm always bothered about when God looks at me, good and faithful servant, would I have done all that He sent me to do? Or would I be the one that He puts talent in, then I'm making some bags and I'm keeping it for you? Or, oh, I did not know. Am I really pouring out all that He expects me to be? Yes. And there are people that tie them down. Because the truth is, God has placed everybody to help somebody's purpose, come up. Yes.
So if you don't do that, somebody else will tie them because
and that's a sin. That's a sin. It's not a gift. Because you're keeping somebody down. You're depriving somebody of fulfilling destiny and purpose. Because that's how God has, that's how God has orchestrated it to be. So those are things that I'm constantly looking at. I see to reflect. Am I carrying unforgiveness? Is there anything? And again, because of it, my mom passed, I constantly try to live life where I'm almost always ready. Yes. Yes. Because I mean, like when it happened, I remember a week later, one day I was just crying, and I told my mom, and I said, my mom always wanted to. She always say that she was to be careful. If you're not happy, my mom will wait for tomorrow. She will tell you now. Yeah, she will tell you. No, she's not very good. And she always tell, she say, because me, I don't want anything to deprive me of my heaven. So I was telling him, and I said to him, did she make heaven? Because she didn't know. Did she know? Do you think so? I need to be sure. And I remember him telling me, I can ask God to show you.
Yes.
And I didn't ask God to show me. But of course, God is faithful. He knows He's my Father. And exactly a week from that day, I had a dream. And that was God showing me clearly. I saw goodness gracious. In fact, that day I made decisions of someone during her funeral. Because that was her showing me, that this meal, I'm in the best place. So, Lapida Lele, it was a very clear, it was clear, so clear. And when I cried out, yes, because my mom she was dancing, dancing, busy crying. It was like it was a very, the dream I look forward to translate for you.
No need, exactly.
This is what she's telling you clearly. And she was stressed out. That's how she was stressed out for her funeral, And so with that, I'm consciously like, okay,
anything can happen.
Yes,
Life is fickle.
Yes.
I need to put it all out before. Let's stop it.
You're angry, you don't know.
Yeah.
You think you are forgiven, it's not really true. It's somewhere. So these are the things that I battle with when it's just
You and you.
Yes, I should.
I love to hear it. And I pray that God gives you the grace to know the answers that you need to know.
Yes.
And the things you need to do.
Yes.
So that you can fulfill all the purposes that you're brought to this world.
Absolutely.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Do you like my skin? Do you like my skin? I'm sure you do. My skin is powered by Jag Lifestyle. The skincare brand specifically tailored for people like you. Go to danglashers.co to get yours. Use the discount code on the screen to get 10% off. Thank you so much for coming. And now it's time to read our story. Before we do that, we take a pledge.
Okay.
Yes. Hi, Ben. I'm sending this because I'm
How many
a few
clients
weeks
do you
ago,
have
I
with
caused my
locks?
husband hurting our 7-month-old baby.
I just had one
I've
before
given
you
her to
came,
him and then went to the bathroom
and then
to have my
I
bath. While I was in the bathroom,
had
I heard her scream, so I decided to peep and see what's
2
happened.
or 3
I saw he was patting her back
guys,
and she was looking in my
and
direction, so I
then
stood and
like
watched.
2 other
She
ladies,
stopped crying
and
and
one
next thing he
sister
did was
love.
put her on his legs and started
Yeah, I
using his
have
fingers
almost
to
10.
flick her face hard. This is what he was doing.
Oh, you do
So she
sister
started
locks as
crying
well?
again. I was confused.
Yeah,
So
I don't do it, but
trying to
retwist,
understand
yes.
what was
But
happening.
if I have to start it,
Next thing, he
Yeah,
started twisting
that
her
thing
arm.
is
It's
a nightmare to start and install it.
No,
Like 2
I
days
don't.
or so.
I jumped out
Ah,
and collected her from him. I
no,
was
I don't.
screaming and asking why he would do such to a 7-month-old.
Maybe
He
it's
claimed he did it because she would not stop crying. But
maybe
he
it's
looked
for
unbothered, like he hadn't done anything
the
wrong.
retwist.
The next day I left the house and lodged at the
I
hotel
can,
because a lot of
but
things started to
it's
make sense.
the
Before I saw him
installation,
doing
the
what he
starting
did, my baby would
process.
usually cry and scream anytime
I'm
he tries to
even
carry her.
thinking
In
of
fact,
stopping
when she's
starter
like
locks
crawling,
altogether.
once she sees him coming towards
It's
her,
too
she would
much.
come towards me and grab my
How long
clothes,
does it take
scream
you
like she was scared.
to do the
But I
second
always
one?
assumed she was just a honest girl.
Depending on the
Initially
size,
denied the
it's
thing,
always between like
but
5 to
when
8
in real
hours,
life I saw him fully,
depending on the
claimed
size
he was
and the
just
length of the
for
hair.
the second that she was in pain. He started apologizing, but it didn't seem like he was remorseful. A lot has happened in between. I've tried to get over the issue
If I
and
know.
believe it was one time thing. Then
Oh
a
no,
few
it's
days
not
ago, I
braiding,
came back
it's lock
and went to
retwist.
bath, and on coming out, I saw him using a balloon to hit her head. I understand that this isn't harmful, but it traumatized me all over again. The situation led me to an argument and decided claiming that he hasn't done anything wrong, even after the first one. He doesn't agree that he physically abused his own 7-month-old child. He claims he just scolded her. He says I'm the one exaggerating the situation. Try to like, you tried. Don't used to say that part for you. Alrighty. Hi, Ben. I'm sending this because I'm broken. A few weeks ago,
You
I
don't
caught
speak
my
English.
husband
What language do you
hurting
speak?
our 7-month-old baby. I've given her to him and then went to the bathroom to have my bath. While I was in the bathroom, I heard her scream, so I decided to peep and see what happened. I saw he was patting her back and she was looking in my direction, so I stood and watched. She stopped crying and next thing he did was to put her on his legs and started using his fingers to flick her face hard. This is what he was doing. So she started crying again. I was confused, so I kept looking, trying to understand what was happening. Next thing, he started twisting both of her ears hard, and he had a wicked look while doing it. So at that point, I jumped out and collected her from him. I was leaving, screaming and asking why he would do such to a 7-month-old. He claimed he did it because she would not stop crying, but he looked unbothered, like he hadn't done anything wrong. The next day I left the house and lodged at the hotel because a lot of things started to make sense. Before I saw him doing what he did, my baby would usually cry and scream anytime he tries to carry her. In fact, when she started crawling, once she sees him coming towards her, she would crawl towards me and grab my clothes, scream like she was scared. But I always assumed she was just a honest girl. After I caught him, he initially denied doing anything, but when in real life I saw him fully, he claimed he was just frustrated and forgot for a second that she was in pain. He started apologizing, but it didn't seem like he was remorseful. A lot has happened in between. I've tried to get over the issue and believe it was one time thing. Then a few days ago, I gave her to him and went to bath, and on coming out, I saw him using a balloon to hit her head. I understand that this isn't harmful, but it traumatized me all over again. The situation led me to an argument and I started claiming that he hasn't done anything wrong, even after the first one. He doesn't agree that he physically abused his own 7-month-old child. He claims he just scolded her. He says I'm the one exaggerating the situation. This doesn't make any sense to me, and honestly, I would just want to pack my bags, carry my baby, and leave this marriage. Because I can't be with a man who possibly abuses children and don't want to wait until the situation gets extreme and I begin to regret it. I know I'm not overreacting or overthinking. I'm very confident what he did was physical abuse on a child. I would still like to get your perspective on the issue because right now I feel like everyone else is downplaying what happened because it was done by the father.
what happens
when the child
is even growing. One day, you can start the child. Yes, one day. I mean, the child is crying and then you are doing that. If a child is crying, you try to...
I keep repeating.
7, exactly. 7 months old. And it doesn't mean it's a problem. There's a problem. There's a problem.
So she should not be worried about moving out.
She should not be worried about moving out.
Like, she's saying, no, I want to move out, I'm not sure.
It's not me that will tell you to leave, but if you love your child, it's that you're taking that child away, and then why don't take your child as another person to start training from 7 months old? So what are you even doing? How are you going to be happy in that marriage?
Yes.
Because like yes, when in marriage, I mean when they speak that grammar, procreation is part of it now. So the child that God has given us, we can't even train the child. So just because I'm going to another supposed to train because I'm trying to deal with an issue that you have. No, you shouldn't even be with that kind of man.
I think people are
Your child or your children are not so. Anybody that will saying it is not being fair to you.
I think
They're not
people
telling
have
the
actually
truth.
said this to the man being frustrated.
Frustrated.
Because he's frustrated. Maybe
You
the child.
know if he's frustrated, you know what you do? You leave the child, just leave the child on the chair. Just leave the child on the chair. You sit down here, increase the volume of the TV. We know you're frustrated. That's different. That's it. The way you crying, keep quiet. Yes. Keep crying. You'll be tired. When you're tired, keep quiet. You're going to beat it to your mother, come and carry you. It's okay. But letting have your child, your own child, let me make
Guys
a
don't
child.
like the child.
Doesn't like child.
He doesn't like.
Yes. Some people don't like children.
But they still have children.
Yes.
Yes.
They don't like children.
Yeah.
And it's a case of as it's possible that maybe any idea we don't really want, we don't really have
Or not.
small ones.
Or not. You know why I say that?
Yeah.
Some people don't think they have a right to say they don't want kids.
Yes, that. You know some people have issues that they don't even know that
They don't know.
that's the
Or
issue.
they
That
don't have the
yes.
child doesn't say,
Not my thing.
Not my thing.
It's not my thing. Yeah. And it's traumatized.
This is where
that child is traumatized already.
and it's better to take that child away now.
Now, that child, for a child to be running away,
Yeah.
you see that you think, and that's anything. So, there's been doing things to that baby even before she saw them.
Yeah.
So,
There's going to
need
be
to leave that child.
Yeah. There's going to be a resolution. Let it be outside. Like you first of all take that child away. Because at the end of the day, we're talking about the child abuser here.
Yes. Because what it is that, see, even if she come back, yeah, she'll never really get peace.
Yeah. What if tomorrow?
Yes. How about you leave your child with the child's father and you are not at peace?
The people say are not in love. Look,
Yes.
there's a lot.
There's a lot.
something to at least one person and you can take some advice home with you. Today, I have the amazing, the talented, my friend, one of the most brilliant people I've ever seen in this life, and the most requested guest on this show, the man on fire himself, Kofi. What do you mean by Nawa?
I didn't say that. I said
You don't know that you've been requested to come on this show?
I not as the host. I had no idea.
Go and check that. Bring Kofi. Kofi's here.
Here I am.
Yes.
Oh yeah, no.
There was one day I was watching movie on TV. I was in America, not to. I wanted to take video of the video. I said, wait, I'm not calling it. Movie, I'm watching you. You were on mentality.
Oh, okay.
And he said, oh, men are not meant to be monogamous. I said, oh, we are 6 years
I
in
didn't
marriage.
say men are not meant to be monogamous.
What did you say?
And I'm not 6 years in marriage.
16.
Yeah.
And you're 16 years in marriage.
Yeah.
And you say men are not meant to be
I
monogamous.
didn't say men are not meant to.
What did you say?
I said monogamy is a social construct. For
Let's rearrange it. Let's rearrange it. Oh, yeah, now.
Everybody assumed I was giving them a free pass.
What were you doing? What was it?
I was stating the
If you only list your vacation home on Airbnb, you'll get a couple who'll stay a couple of nights.
explaining so many of the things as, oh, my ADHD symptoms and everything. My therapist wanted to, go and get tested. She was like, these are not symptoms.
Everyone be only trauma.
Yeah, not really.
No, not just okay.
So, through my work, I found out that most people are in the spectrum actually.
Yeah.
So knowing helped me, is helping me to now manage myself I can experience it after stage when when I said that, how did this person feel? Well, I think my biggest luck is that my alter ego, when it comes out on stage, is a whole different, it's a beast. Yeah, it's a beast. You know, so it's such a beast, like it's like incredible hawk. So when I shrink back to the character Bruce Banner, I'm not myself, but my clothes at home. You know, so people see me and expect that version on stage, but that's really not me. It's one area I've been lucky. When I get on stage, it's do or die, you're in the front. You have to entertain. People are paid to laugh. So, yeah. There are times I've shrunk myself, I'm not gonna lie, in the beginning. But over time, it just becomes second nature of that personality. And one of the things I'm happy about is that it feels like multiple personalities. So I can go on stage and just do a solemn performance. There are times I go on stage and I'm a firecracker. There are times I go on stage and I'm sounding like a philosopher.
Yes.
Okay, I'm a philosopher.
You are a philosopher. You are a philosopher, so you go on stage and be who you are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Depending on the type of moment.
Yeah. So the loneliness that comes with fame is kind of hard for me to understand that sometimes, right? You're very, very famous. And when you say things like, it kind of separates you, and when it's different, people expect you to be the same, then I don't know if I really truly understand it. I mean, not that you are lying, I'm just saying, for me, how you have so many people who like you outside of stage, in real life, who are your friends. How do you still feel, lonely that way?
Well, the truth is, even without fame, I've come to understand that I would have still felt lonely. And that's because the way I think, I don't have so many people in that same bracket with me. And it's not like my thinking is superior, it's just that it's becoming off. It can be totally off. So I've learned to keep my mouth shut sometimes in public because what I'm saying feels off, but it's very real and very genuine to me. Now, with the fame, I have learned that two things. Number one, fame is genuine. More than ever before, fame is very genuine. Now, let's start with Naira. Maybe
So anybody can be famous.
Anybody can be famous, and fame is fame too. You can be as off fame as much as you were famous yesterday. Time was when fame was okay, you are famous, but even if you are not doing anything, that thing you did that made you famous, they will be remembering you for it. Or not disruption is the order of the day. So your fame doesn't even need to fade for it to end.
Yes.
Because somebody else is doing something really crazy on the side, So the second reason is when I was working with RFB as his PA in the early 2000s, one day I'm in the office, he's coming to the office, but there's traffic on Tony Street. He gets out from the vehicle and starts walking like in gentle line, one hand in pocket, head back, bowed, and just strolling to the office. So people in traffic are red, yeah. It's just gliding. I'm watching from the balcony till I'm panicking for him. Like, walks like that to the office. So I asked him, how do you cope with all this fame and everything people do to him? He said, you ignore it. Because if you get used to it, even when you've lost the fame, you won't be able to go out. You'll be feeling, people are looking at me and it can't depress you.
Ain't nobody looking at you.
Ain't nobody looking at you.
Anybody, and again, that could be addictive. Knowing that, people are paying and then they stop paying.
They can kill you.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying be famous and walk on the streets, I'm just saying be famous enough to surprise people and show up at the local pub. Before they even gather themselves, you don't influence the people that don't go. And I'm not saying 10 minutes straight, they can be there 2 hours. It will take them 1 hour to walk their head and say,
that this guy is
yeah, I said, because of my thought process and the way I look at life sometimes, you know, it makes me isolate. Even though I like my company, so do I get lonely sometimes? Absolutely, because I want to talk. So that's why I've had sessions with my therapist that I was just talking and she was just listening. It was not part of the program. I noticed she would just let me. The Nigerian me first was like, so I just jump and she's not stopping
She's
me.
not stopping me, advising me, or giving me assignments yet.
I now realize it's all part of the process. So I have somewhere to get it all out.
One day I went to my therapist years and years ago, and I remember that it was in New York. I remember that nothing happened that day, but I had an urge like to just take. I had an appointment, of course, but nothing happened that day that would make me. So I wanted to go and chase that. Just very regular questions. So what have you been going through? What's been going on? What are your dreams? Because I used to tell my therapist about nightmares after my mom died. So you say, have you had nightmares? Those are the initial questions before my answers begin to trigger me to now ask questions. But on that day, I sat there. I don't know when I lay down, and I slept off after talking.
I need women to know that you're not limited to anything other than living your life openly and honestly.
Ask your healthcare provider if Big Tarvy is right for you, and visit BigTarvy.com to view the important facts.
Hi, American parents. I am offering a free class of my best-selling math program. Here, your child will master advanced topics like decimals, geometry, algebra, and digital speed math techniques. This will help you crack the math in technical exams and areas as speed and accuracy in math are factors for this exam. With Queenb, they will be prepared for the real.
I slept off. I didn't spend. I know that 45 minutes. If it's a car, you have to left me there. What's another 15 minutes? Yes.
What's your time?
After I finish talking and slept off, one of 5 minutes, he didn't wake me. He just left me there and went another office to take the next client. Instead of saying, pick up, he just left. And then when I woke up, I looked at the time, I slept 2 hours. Yes. So when he came back, I said, next time. Is that right? Yes. Because the next time he told me,
Jesus.
I didn't know I was that tired. But if he had stopped me midway, I would have just allowed him and let him lose. So my thoughts were not interrupted. And I really love that about therapists. Yeah, those non-interrupted because at that point I'm expressed. And then,
I'm not advocating, even though officially, right? There are things like therapy. Because I remember back in primary school, we had a guidance counselor. I never used him for anything.
it was kind of office. I don't even know why he didn't go.
So those are things that should be insisted on now
Yeah.
for people, like students from primary school. There are therapy advocates like love should be a subject. So you teach children that it's okay to tell your daddy or mommy I love you. Teach daddy and mommy to tell you I love you. Don't tell them to. Don't teach them to tell daddy. But tell you, did you tell your
Am
daddy
I your last person for the day?
Yes.
That's already true.
Did it ever tell you
It's
that?
really day to relax.
Yeah. Maybe get something to eat.
My dad said thank you.
Sleep a little bit.
Yeah, but you don't have Kyra around.
Yeah.
Sleep as much as you need.
A little bit. I may even have to go. Sometimes I drive. I may have to go drive it overnight. I need to sleep.
Or Uber.
But just weekends.
Alright. Take care. I'll send you the thing
Emotions up.
That's what I feel like. even the this thing is 150.
Yes.
We had a special price, remember?
But the last time we paid, oh, so I was like, okay, maybe she has.
That was bonane.
Maybe she has repented.
That was bonane.
Extra bonane. All right, thank you. Have a good day. Thank you, Polo Man. Thank you so much for being here. Sorry I couldn't talk. This was I don't really talk a lot on live when my friends are around. Unless maybe they are really okay with it, but most of the times I don't. But thank you guys so much for the likes. I really appreciate it.
I want you to have this what you need. So if I have a lot of bullshit, I can act nice for a few hours. After a while, I will start to give bullshit. So
Any questions concerning hair and makeup? I'm about to sign off. I've been standing since morning and my feet are killing me. So I'm about to get up, sit down, rest.
the adult has sex. Listen, there's a set of videos I want to start doing. There are two parts of the brain that I've come to study, right? The amygdala and the prefrontal cortex. The amygdala is like a muscle. That is what's responsible for detecting traits. The amygdala tells you, no, fight, pretend like you are dead. It's doing everything to protect you. A child whose amygdala is constantly active, say for fight, for example, when that child grows up, the amygdala is bigger than the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for wisdom, calmness, logic. So someone whose amygdala is more active than the prefrontal cortex will be easily triggered because the amygdala muscle has been so trained. Yes, it has been so trained. It tells you, even when there is no clear and present threat, or when the clear and present threat is your child, your amygdala doesn't even know. Amygdala is just like, why is this child staring me in the face? The way they were staring down at you when you were a kid and you couldn't talk, they shut this little fucker up. You are touching their wounds. The amygdala is saying that they are injuring you. They are injuring our rude. Yeah, they are rude. Give it meaning. You know? That's why I don't say that you forgive them. It's not like I have the ability to forgive everything. I'm just saying this is the truth.
Thank you guys for joining. Please subscribe.
Well, if it's a moral sin, it's unfortunate. If it's a sin that is made provision for the law, it's the ignorance of the law, it's so exposed, so you go to jail for it. But that's why I'm advocating that this comes in schools, Thanksgiving, breath work, love, they need to be broken down. You need to start to teach children to say, sit still, breathe, out from your mouth. Because that helps to shrink the amygdala. It helps you to stay present. If your mind just say, bring yourself back. I learned this in Canada, by the way. I read about all this. I can't quote one now. I've read it several times. You know, so you learn. So these are things that need to be taught. Because there are good people really, really bad things, and that's just because of the upbringing. And the brain has been trying to There's a documentary on Netflix now, and it was a
Okay, I am done.
it was not really worldwide. The mother when the terrorists attacked the mall in Kenya. One of the
Okay,
famous
since we don't have any questions, I'm going to
receive
sign out now, and I will see you guys in my next one. Please hit that subscribe button so that we grow the family together, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Love you guys. See you.